Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed is a spiritual crossing of the threshold to the world of being a truly expanded human being. Join mediums Cheryl and Kelly for conversations about discovering deep spirituality, developing your intuitive and empathic skills, and personal mediumship. Each episode will focus on tips, tools, and techniques to help you understand and expand your own inner gifts of life journey. Now, your host of Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed, Kelly and Cheryl.
Well, hello. Welcome, everyone, to this evening show of Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed. You are in for a special night tonight. And I do want to say hello to my colleague. We have a special guest tonight. Hello, Lori Albert. Hi, how are you?
I'm so good, Cheryl. It's so good to see your smiling face. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, likewise. And look, Lori is doing a great favor for us, filling in for us. Kelly had a last minute couldn't be here, but Lori, we always love having you on the show. I mean, there's so many great things that, you're doing to help people open up intuitively. You're teaching, you're mentoring. We're going to be talking more and more about your services, what you do as a medium. You call yourself a spiritual luminary. So for those of you logging in that haven't met Lori yet, just go to her website, lorialbert.com. That's Lauri albert.com. And you can check her out. But look, we're going to be taking your questions tonight. That's what I'm so excited about, Lori, is we're continuing part 2 from last week, right? So the title of our show tonight is called like Angel Emails, right? Angel Emails and Chit Chat, because we are answering everything metaphysical. And we did it last week. We had such a great turnout and so many great questions. We thought we would continue that conversation tonight. So I hope you're up for it.
Love it. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yeah. So this is how it works is we're going to be reading some emails that we've gotten for our show. Ever since we started the show, we have all these emails with these questions, and we haven't gotten around to some of them. We got a lot of them last week. We still have questions to answer through emails, but for everyone logging on, we want to encourage you to type in the comment section, ask us a question about anything metaphysical, which could be angels, guides, departed loved ones, intuition, the spirit world, multi-dimensions. We had people asking us about aliens last week, right? Or talking to us about your dreams, which I thought very interesting. We had some great questions on dreams.
Yeah, nice.
So, Lori, I don't know if you can see the chat box or not, but we have many, many people logging on right now and saying,
Yay.
so
Hi, everybody.
Hi to a few people. We have hi, Frank. Hey, Melissa. I have emails and readings that I do for people that always tell me how much they enjoy our show. So thank you all to all of our listeners. Hi, Maria Ann. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Peggy, just to name a few. Everyone's logging on. Thank you guys so much. We are on live on WLTK, and we're also on live on our Facebook and YouTube pages. So you can catch us live. And of course, we have a replay going out as soon as this ends. But thank you all for joining us tonight. And Lori, if I could just ask you a question that was I thought really neat last week was
cool.
One of the last questions actually that came on the show last week was like, how many spirit guides do we have? Or, do we all have a spirit guide? And I really remember that question because I think, we answered differently. Kelly and I were answering differently, and we were getting different audience responses. So
interesting.
Think about spirit guides, Kelly.
Yeah. For me, the way I understand it to be is that, we have one. Hi, Jeffrey. I need to meet him. I really need to meet him. Very excited to meet him. From my understanding, we have one spirit guide that is with us from minute 1, second 1 till we pass. And then depending on what's going on in our life, we have different ones going in and out. Okay. Like if I've been married for, oh my God, I've been married a long time. I've been married for like 30, 2 years, something like that. And, something along those lines.
Oh,
My husband's not listening, but I don't need the guide that is like new relationships. You know what I mean? So there was probably one with me whenever I first met my husband. So there's that kind of thing. But right now, going through some health challenges. So I have a new guide, and it's so cool. It's so cool how, for me anyway, because I'm obviously tapped in to my own guides and all that kind of thing, but it's so cool to have that, little nudge, that little voice in my head that's like, it's okay, Laura, you've got that. You know what I mean? It's like when I'm meditating, I can hear what they're telling me. It's kind of cool.
So you had some relationship guides, and now you have like health guides or health advisors or supportive angels,
and career guides, because, I'm always trying to figure out how to, have my business expand and that sort of thing. And it's, there's, depending on what's going on in your life right now, that's, but now what is your understanding of that?
Yeah, I agree. I do believe we have guides for, a reason, a season, a lifetime. I do believe we have had guides that have come in that we've known before we came into this physical existence, that we probably invited with us or agreed to work with them. And I do believe that we manifest or we attract guides for new hobbies or interests or health concerns, or anytime you're feeling stuck, we can have real estate angels if you're looking for a place, or financial guides, helping you with finances. So I do believe we have, I've always heard that we have, for every thought or every wish, we have an angel for that. And I always like to think like it that way, because I don't want to put a limit on it, because I do believe angels are, and I use angels and guides interchangeably, but I do believe more spirit guides we have for reasons. Angels, I think we call upon them. I know I met a spirit guide that came to me when I was meditating. I've told this a bunch of times, but she came to me like a bullet train right in my third eye, just bam.
Oh, wow.
And she goes, "Hey, I'm going to be your new spirit guide, and I'm helping you with this project."
Oh my God, that's so cool.
I know. I'm going to be with you for a couple of months. Got to go. Bye. And she took off in my meditation, right in my third eye and right out. And I'll never forget it. And she really helped with the current project I was working on at that time. So,
oh my gosh.
No, but that's how I met her. So.
Yeah. That is so cool. I remember, okay, so here's a good story about that. Me and my spirit guides. I may have told this before, so please forgive me if I have. So when I was first developing my spiritual gifts, this is like 20 years ago, I was like, okay, I want to meet my spirit guides. And at first, I was like, okay, so I was meditating, and all of a sudden I would see these, like, as I was meditating, this is like right at the beginning. This is a while ago. Right. And I would see these blobs, kind of like a lava lamp. And I used to have a lava lamp just as kind of a nod to the spirit guides. And I was like, oh, they're blobs. Right. And so I remember one day saying, okay, so what do I call you? And they were like, just call us the blobs. We don't care. So for the longest time, I would call them the blobs, but I was never able to like connect with them. I mean, no, that's not true. I was able to connect with them, but it didn't feel like it was a person, Right. So I was going to, at that point, I was going to all these classes, right? And I went to a Mavis Patilla class, who I loved. She just was extraordinary. Loved her. And she said, okay, so there's this whole room full of people. She's like, okay, now we're going to do the Meet Your Spirit Guide meditation. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'm finally going to sit and have a conversation with my spirit guides. So we sit down. She says, okay, close your eyes. So I close my eyes, and instantly I fell asleep. Like almost like hypnotherapy or something, right? I instantly fell asleep. And then as soon as she was finished, I woke right up. And I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated. But two things happened out of that.
What happened?
I learned that maybe I wasn't necessarily like, then was not the right time for me to meet my guide, a guide at that point. Okay. And what I ended up learning was that it was subconscious or unconscious, right? So I was probably having all these things happening with my guides. I just didn't know it in my conscious mind. So I thought that was really interesting, you know?
Interesting. And you know, guides, they don't really care what we call them, right?
Yeah.
That's more our thing, you know. So the blobs is fine. It's a great right?
Exactly. They were blobs.
Connection with them. Yeah.
They just want to connect. That's the most important thing, you know. So
I see a question in the email. Can I read it? And it's in the private chat. So it says, how do you know if you have psychic abilities? This is from Alyssa. Hi, Alyssa. Thanks for joining the show. Alyssa says, how do you know if you have psychic abilities? Could it have something, could something have happened to block those abilities? And her example is, I used to just know things, like hear them, but that doesn't happen anymore. And I did go through a really tough, unhappy time. Could I be somehow closed? And if so, how can I reopen myself to the gift again? Isn't that's a beautiful, beautiful question?
Yeah, it is.
Alyssa,
go ahead. You answer it first.
Oh, okay. Well, I just loved hearing you and hearing you talk. But, well, you know, Alyssa, I'll tell you, I think sometimes we feel like we're blocked, or we feel like things aren't working out, you know, and we're not maybe as intuitive as we were, you know, before something happened that was unfortunate for you. But really, I want to say we have to almost look at it as a new way of connecting, or spirit connecting with you in a different route or a different way. Now, you know, I do think there's also times where your intuition can be strengthened, or you can be more highly attuned, like around a full moon or a new moon, or, you know, during certain times of the month, or even during the year when the seasons. Some people are better in the summertime being a medium or psychic than they are in the wintertime. I mean, speaking of Mavis Patilla, she would share with us that she would do all of her work as a medium during the summer months. During spring and summer, that's when she worked.
I did not know that.
Because in the winter season, she just felt that was just not her time. You know, she just felt, I'm not going to work then, or that's not. But but she always encouraged us to look at the moon phases. And that's what I encourage everyone all the time. Look at when you feel really strong and in tune, and, you know, you're right in the zone, so to speak. See if it's a full moon around that time of month, or new moon. It doesn't matter. It's different for everyone. It's all about your individuality. What do you want to help Alyssa out with, Lori?
Well, what I would say is that I would say, first off, you know, journal. Number one. Okay. Yeah. Number one is journal. And as you're journaling, create an intention for yourself. This is what I see myself doing, blah, blah, blah. Create an intention. Okay. And then number three is meditate. Get back. I feel like it, and I don't know if this to be true, Alyssa, but but I feel like that just in reading your energy, I kind of feel like that you meditated, but then you stopped, and sometimes you meditate and that sort of thing. Get into you know, and it doesn't have to be like a big dramatic, and I was just saying this yesterday, it doesn't have to be a big dramatic thing, you know, where you have to sit with the hand mudras and blah, blah, blah. Just sit, you know, just allow yourself to sit and maybe focus on your breath or focus on your heart, you know, and just consider that intention. And as you do that, as you get into that, repetition, what's the word? Routine. As you get into the routine of doing that, things are going to start to open up for you. Okay. So that would be like an actionable kind of thing that you can do.
I love it. I love it. And you know, those were great action steps, Lori. Thank you. Everyone needs to have an action step. You're the action step guru there. So we have more people joining us. Hi, future someone. Hi, Carla. Hi, Onessa. Hi, Maria. Another Maria. Hi, Jolene and Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey. Hugs to Jeffrey, who's been on our show before. Jeffrey Peck, psychic medium. Jeffrey Peck, who has a show on YouTube. For anyone listening, please join his YouTube channel too. He has a beautiful show called Something Super Spiritual, and it's pretty great. So please join his show. And hi, Jose. And look, we're taking your questions tonight about anything metaphysical. So if you want to ask a question in the comment section, or if you want to send us or email your questions, you can send them to questions@seeingbeyondradio.com. All right. Thank you guys very much. There is another question coming up. Oh, let's see. There's a lot of questions. So let me find another one. Let's just look for a moment. I want to ask a question about crystals. Lori, that's where I want to go next.
Okay.
For example, this person, Amanda, is asking, what is your thoughts on Moldavite? Do you know that stone?
I am not a crystal. My daughter, for some reason, she knows. Well, she worked in a crystal shop, so I guess I should say that. But she knows so much about all of the crystals, but I don't really know.
Do you want to comment on? Do you use crystals, Lori, at all in your?
I do. This crystal. This is a quartz, clear quartz, obviously, and for me. I know about a few of them. This crystal has been with me since the very, very beginning of my development. And I think I'm the only one that has ever touched it since it left the store, kind of thing. And I'm the only person that's ever touched this. And I used to, whenever I was first doing this work, I would carry it around and I would hold on to it when I was doing readings, because clear quartz, it enhances the energy. Mm-hmm. So that's what I know about clear quartz. And this is like until the day I die, I will love this quartz. I don't, but it works really, really well. So clear quartz is fantastic. And then the other crystal that I love is, oh my God, hello.
That's my favorite too.
Selenite.
Right? You forgot it for a second.
And I was like, which one?
Why are you saying hello? What? Hello? Is someone else on the call with us? Oh,
yeah.
Selenite.
So no, but this is great to clear the energy.
Yeah, clear.
So a lot of times, like if I don't have time, or I can't, if I can't burn sage, I'll do this. But that's my extent of crystals. What about yours?
Yeah, and I do want to say that that's a great question. You're asking about, it's Moldavite. Amanda asked about Moldavite, and it's made of, it's very old. It's a stone. It's kind of a green jade, maybe dark colors of green. It's natural glass kind of feeling.
I wonder if this is.
Yeah, I want to say, Amanda, that's a great question. How you can tell when you know you're ready for it. I've never heard. There's nothing negative about crystals. Number one, they're all helpful. They're all serve a purpose. They overlap in ways. They help you in many ways. Many of the stones overlap because a lot of them do the same thing, like grounding or clearing energy. But then they have that little extra something special, like rose quartz, which is a light pink stone. I love that one, the pastel pink rose quartz. That's all about love and creating calmness and healing, and very good with intuition. And then of course, amethyst, that beautiful rich color of purple, that's all about intuition. And then there's the blue lapis, lovely, and the clear quartz that Lori showed us. And to answer your question, Amanda, because you said, how would you know if you are ready for it? I want to say that is an individual, right, Lori? That's an individual practice or experiment that you want to try yourself, because different crystals and quartz are different for different people. And
You know
even
what? And
size.
she says in the comments, she said, when I hold my Moldavite, my arm will tingle. My theory to that is that if for some reason and this is true with anything and not just crystals, if something is coming into your mind and for some reason it's like there and you're like, why am I thinking? Then maybe that might be a sign that now is the time for you to work with Moldavite. I would say, honestly, Google it or buy the crystal. I have a crystal book over there. I'd get up and grab it, but it would be
That's
chaotic if I did. But it's like, if you feel like you're gravitating to it, then there must be a reason.
Absolutely. And there's a reason, Jessica, that you're asking this question about this
Mhm.
stone at this particular time.
Yeah.
For this reason. So I do, of course, you are attracted to it. You're curious about it. Definitely experiment with it, right? Hold it for a while. You said your arm, you feel it in your arm, and then set it down and try it on the other arm or try another crystal. You could do an experiment on which one feels stronger and maybe around different moon phase even or different time of day when you're feeling more energy or even after you've meditated. I
Yeah.
love even meditating with stones. I'll hold a stone in my hand when I meditate. I just love it. I just think I don't know, I just feel energized or I feel, I don't know, more directly in tune. Not all the time, but when I can, I think for me, it's just helpful. Maybe it just helps me relax, and do the meditation.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing, using your own intuition
Mm-hmm.
for like all of this,
Mm-hmm.
is the reality, like, like, going back to the I forget, Alyssa, right? You will know when it's right for you. It's like all of this work kind of revolves around trusting your gut instinct. And I've been talking about this a lot lately. Your gut instinct is kind of everybody, people that aren't even interested in spirituality in any way, they understand gut instinct, right? It's like every man's version. Like everybody knows what a gut instinct is. Like, trust your gut, but it's the same thing as intuition, right? So if your intuition, your gut instinct is telling you that, oh, grab the Moldavite or grab the amethyst and carry the amethyst around with you, then that's what you're supposed to do. Trust it. Trust the instincts. Trust your intuition.
I think people are just have doubt, I think that's it. It's just but that's what Lori and I are here for. We're here to help coach people or encourage people to give it a go. Like, just give it a try, right?
Yeah.
Just pretend. If there's some way you can step into your courage, just pretend that you're listening to your gut instinct and see what that's like.
Yeah.
And if you pretend and make it a playful activity, so to speak, then you might be able to work with it better, baby steps, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. You have to, and it's interesting because I work with, and I don't know if anybody's here, but any of them are here, but I have these students, right? And it's like, it's all about getting them to trust themselves. And you know what? It's so interesting because if we trust ourselves in our spirituality and with our gifts and that sort of thing, that's what we want to do. But you know what? In our everyday lives, in our humanness, trusting ourselves is so important. Trusting our gut, trusting that, oh, you know what? I really feel like that I shouldn't go to this grocery store right now. Trust it. Trust it. Because then all of a sudden you come out with confidence and you have better self-esteem and all of that kind of stuff. So it's really kind of interesting. Interestingly, I just read a comment and I lost it now, but how can you tell that a particular crystal is for you? So let me just tell you about how I found this one, right? Okay. So energy is conducted through our hands. Okay. I think most people know that, right? Energy is conducted through our hands. So basically here's Lori standing in the middle of a crystal shop with all of these. There was tons of ones that looked sort of like this, right? So I went like this, and I just started putting my hands out all over all the crystals. And if you're in a crystal shop and you're doing this, nobody's going to look at you funny because they all do it too. Right.
That's
Right. So I had my hands over top of all the crystals, and all of a sudden my hand got really hot over 2 or 3 of them. And I was like, ooh, this is the section. Right. So then I did like this again. And then I went over one.
Mm-hmm.
I just used one hand and I went over it and stuff. And that's how I found this crystal. And it was supposed to be for me. So that was how and that you can do that with it. It's not just quartz. It's like every crystal. So I wanted to throw that out there too.
Yeah. Well, these are great ideas you're giving, and great ways, things we can do tomorrow, or do this evening when you're with your own crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some great questions coming in. So guys, once again, if you have a question, please let us know in the comments section. We'll be doing some readings in just in a little bit, in about 5 minutes or so. We'll start doing some readings, but ask questions about your guides or your angels. Ask us questions that maybe you think other people might benefit from too. You can always type them here in the comments section or email, because we have the lovely Brianna working backstage with us. She's our producer this evening and helping us, our third host this evening, helping us field questions. So send your questions in an email to questions@seeingbeyondradio.com, and she'll be looking out for them there. All right. So, but we so appreciate these conversations are really enlightening, and they are helping so many people, not just on this live right now, but on the recordings. When people listen to our show, they have the same questions that everyone does. So thank you so much.
I just came across a question that is really kind of fascinating. This is from Amanda Collins, and it says, why am I experiencing deja vu all the time now and seeing old dreams like a movie while I'm awake?
Wow.
I love that. I love that. And I think Amanda is here too. I think I saw her talking before, but I mean, Amanda, that's really exciting. I think. It's spirit talking to you. You are there. Yay. It's spirit speaking with you, and just go with it. Deja vu is like the coolest thing ever. What do you think about deja vu, Cheryl? I love when that happens. I'll be like, ooh, this is so cool. I'll stop the conversation and whatever it's about.
It happens in places, but it happens with people you meet too, right? Yeah. Like, oh my God, I know you, Remember that, I know you. I know you from somewhere, or I know that we are supposed to be connected, or I know that we've been connected before. So it's people, places, being on the same highway, deja vu, or even different parts of the world. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the, when she says, and seeing old dreams like a movie while I'm awake. I have to tell you that I believe, I don't know if this is me giving you a reading or just a thought, but, I believe that is really, Amanda, that is spirit working with you. Have you been working on your own, your own development? Because that's exactly the way that spirit works with me. Like when I'm giving readings, a lot of times I will close my eyes for a minute and I will see, and sometimes my eyes don't even have to be closed. I will see like a video, like go over the screen. It's like a lot of times I'll get stuff like old home movies. They look like old home movies. And it's like just as an example, like people, it's like the 1950s and we're in front of a house and there's this little boy pulling a little girl in a red that sort of thing, and I'll see the whole video as it's happening. And a lot of times people will be like, that is in front of my grandmother's house. It's something that actually happened, which is really kind of cool, so
I love it. I know that you're learning clairvoyance when we see that movie screen and we're using the visualization aspect. That's the third eye, the clairvoyance, that inner sight working. So good for you.
Yeah. So, and Amanda says, Cheryl said, I was a healer, intuitive, and empath. So, yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. You've got some stuff going on and you should explore that if you haven't already.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for your questions tonight. Gosh, I mean, this is what we did last week, Lori. It's like the questions are just
it's so cool.
advanced.
Oh my gosh. And this one lady says, Denise says, I experience deja vu quite often. I knew about my stepdaughter's car accident 10 years before it happened. You knew she was going to be okay. Well, that's good. Thank God for that. You know, I mean, that's awesome.
And that's what happens is the more and more people you meet in this type of work is, they have those premonitions, you know, or precognitions of, I knew this was going to happen, or I saw this, or I heard this years before.
Now, do you have premonitions? Does it work that way for you? It doesn't work that way, you guys. It doesn't work that way for everybody.
Yeah.
And we all have unique gifts. Okay. So that's kind of the cool thing about spiritual development. We're all different, yet we get to the same place, and it's really cool. So for me, I don't get premonitions, but Cheryl, do you?
Yeah, well, I do get precognitive, like mine comes in dreams, but I get them more about, world events, not so much my personal life, we'll just say. Mine's more worldly, whether it's weather, political, or what have you, or, natural disasters or what have you. Mine is more world focused.
Yeah. I used to have a medium friend who always knew when there was going to be an earthquake. And I would always be like, okay, so quick, like she'd know, like, I don't know, 12 hours in advance. I'd be like, you need to call me. And I'm sure she had that, like everybody would tell her that, call me so I know,
She's busy. I do want to answer a question from Future Someone at 717. Future Someone says, what is the best way to clear a busy mind when you are trying to meditate or discern a message from Spirit? Such a great question. I mean, this is really a big question. Like, how do you know who to trust, right? How do you know if it's your voice, if it's Spirit's voice? How can you tell? What do they sound like? Do they sound like you? Do they, what do you think, Lori? How would you answer that?
Well, okay. So 2 points to this. Boy, I'm like so organized today in my head. I don't know what's going on. But first of all, the best way to clear a busy mind is to allow the thoughts to come. Don't try to clear your mind, because then you'll get frustrated, and that doesn't solve anything when you're trying to meditate. Okay. So just allow the thoughts to come and go, oh, okay, I'm thinking, okay, thank you for sharing. You could like have that be sort of a mantra for yourself. Thank you for sharing. Or you can, if you're trying to clear your mind, maybe just get a simple mantra that you say over and over to yourself again. Like, thank you. My whole thing is right when I sit down and I'm ready to meditate, I will just start saying, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Not that fast usually, but I'll like start doing that. And that kind of leads me into a quieted mind. Okay. So you could try that. That sort of thing. But don't force, don't worry if you're going to think a lot when you're meditating, because you're just gonna. I mean, the master meditators, maybe not Buddha, but the master meditators have thoughts. So it's all okay, And then to discern a message from Spirit, my whole thing about this is practice. Practice, practice, practice. I teach a class on spiritual development. We learn the basics, and then we have a development circle. And so every Tuesday night, we all, the students that want to come, it's not mandatory, obviously, but you come and we practice every single Tuesday night. And then I go to my own DC, not my DC, but somebody else's development circle every Thursday night so that I can practice. That's going to be what gets you to discern, helps you to discern between what's going on and, what is you and what is Spirit. So what do you think about that, Cheryl?
I love it. And, saying a mantra, I love the mantra. I love reciting, reciting a word or some beautiful phrase that you love hearing, anything to help you kind of let your mind open up and just kind of relax into it. I have found what I love doing when I have a busy mind, so to speak, is I step into a canoe and I lay down in the canoe in my visualization, right? So in my mind's eye, I step into it's a calm water. It's a canoe. I don't need to paddle, and I'm just floating out in the water, and I let the canoe take me. And it's just a simple scene, but it's about just not having to paddle anywhere or do anything, just enjoying that beautiful. And maybe you hear a sound of the birds, what have you, or it's, a sunny day and you're very comfortable, but it's like that nap time feeling. But it does allow my body to relax, which allows my mind to relax. So
That's beautiful.
I love that.
Oh my gosh, I love that idea.
So these are great questions. I know the time is just going. Okay. So
I know, right? I can't believe I just looked at the time. Oh my gosh.
I mean, this is such a great show, and it's so great. We have so many great listeners and asking great questions. I do want to take a pause here, just take a moment and share with you some of our upcoming events happening. And I'd like to begin with Lori, because Lori has a great website for all of you that haven't met Lori or that you are seeing her again on our show. LoriAlbert.com. That's LAURI Albert.com. And we're going to ask Brianna to put those links up on the frame for us. But Lori, can you tell us about what's happening? I think you have an event this week also.
Oh my gosh. Somebody that I haven't seen in like a really long time, like 20 years, was like, hey, I'm in town. I'd love to see you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my next open day is Sunday. So I just have a lot of stuff going on. So I have what I call a spirit night on Friday night with my friend Sarah Shook. And it's the seats. I think there's only like 2 spots left. We only have a few people in a spirit night. I call it a spirit night. So basically we get online with Zoom and you bring your blankie, you bring a glass of hot chocolate or wine or food, whatever it is that you want to do that makes you feel comfortable, right? We all get online, and then Sarah and I are going to just give readings, And the cool thing about Friday night is that everybody will get a reading because there's only 8 people going to be on. So yeah, it's exciting. But here's the exciting thing. If you can't make this Friday, guess what? Cheryl and I are doing our own spirit night. Yeah, I'm so excited. We're not calling it spirit night, but that's kind of what I do. But and that will be happening October 21st. And I believe that's a Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's a Saturday. October.
I forget.
It's going to be a special day. I don't know who's going to sign up. I don't know. Yeah. We're only going to do 8 people. Like I would say, grab your tickets now. If you know anyone that has a birthday coming up, buy them a birthday ticket, buy them a reading, that's a great gift, right? Wouldn't you like that? Someone to buy you a gift, a reading like that, or bring a friend. But it's 8 people. Yeah, Lori and I are going to be doing October 21st. So I just feel it to be such I don't know, it's like an exciting energy around it,
I know. And it's so funny because we've been talking about doing this for a while, and then all of a sudden like everything just worked itself out. It's like, and it's so goofy, Cheryl, because I feel silly because I should know that spirit works this stuff out for a reason, I should know that. And I get myself surprised. Oh my gosh, it worked itself out so easily,
I love it. Thank you.
I know, isn't that funny? So, but anyway, one thing I want to tell you guys is keep looking back. You guys are going to laugh on my events page on my website, because after Mercury goes direct,
which is when? Tell us when.
Which is this Friday, right? Mercury goes direct, and we have the shadow period, which all hell will break loose, right? After that, I do not schedule things. Some people get really affected by Mercury retrograde and some people don't. I'm one of those people that does. Okay. So there you have it. Right. However, so I don't schedule things while Mercury is in retrograde. So I have an upcoming mediumship development. What?
You let things calm down.
Yes, exactly. Right.
You start. Right.
Yeah. So I've got, I'm going to be doing a spiritual development class. I'm going to be doing a manifestation intensive So yeah, so that's going to be coming. So what have you got coming up? You have a lot of stuff coming
I
up.
have a lot of stuff coming up, and I always want to tell people that I do a weekly healing prayer circle. It's free to join. It's on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And we have such a great time. It's really only 30 or 40 minutes long. But in that time, I like to say, let's come in, do some good work, leave on a high note. We come in, we set the intention, as is so important, by opening the circle. We have a prayer, we do a meditation, we close the circle. Maybe we have, an exercise or a word. Last week, we talked about how powerful words are, right? We used words like compassion and love. And so the Healing Prayer Circle is a great event. But I also have Circle of Love events where I do small group readings. And this one that's happening tomorrow is pretty much sold out. So I'm starting to post the one for October and November and December. So just check out my website for more of those events, because those are always fun to do. And I have more events coming up down the road with Suzanne Northrup, and that's in December. And I'm sure Kelly and I I haven't mentioned, Lori, Kelly and I are going to New York next month to do the New Life Expo.
Oh, that's so exciting.
We're going together under the banner of Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. So if you want to look for us, look for the radio show Seeing Beyond Living Transformed at the New Life Expo in Brooklyn, New York, October 27th through 29th. And it's going to be a beautiful event. It's one of the biggest of the year in New York. So we're excited. So and join us there. I'll be doing a lecture. I'll be in room number 1, so to speak. And Kelly is doing a lecture. I know I'm in room number 1. I'm like, okay, well, this is just great, welcoming for me. Yeah, we'll be talking more about that on the shows and on our websites, but we're so excited. It's something that I think we're going to do every year. It's like, it feels right.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Yeah. And that's the most important thing to do. You know what? When you feel, you just know, so I love that. Yeah, that's great.
So, well, let's do some readings, only because when you're here, the readings you give are fabulous. Brianna, what did you put up there about the prayer circle? I'm sorry, someone said something. I'm so glad Amanda, thank you, Amanda, for saying that. I'm sorry we didn't read that. Love the prayer circle. I felt so warm. Yes, since you're a healer, absolutely, because you feel the tingling or the energy happening on the top of your head or the tips of your fingers. So much energy. Yes, thank you. If you can join, and it's always recorded. So thanks, Amanda. I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback. And guys, let's do some readings now. We have a good amount of time. Lori and I are going to try to get through as many as we can. These are going to be really mini readings. But if you have a question, please type it in the chat box. Ask us to, tune in. And if you can, be a specific question like, should I sell my house, or, something specific. If you ask a big general question, we can do a reading still, but it's kind of like with the time frame, and we want to get to everybody we can. And Lori's going to pull these amazing cards that she has. Are they the same cards as last time, or?
Well, I've got 3 decks out today. I've got the empowerment cards, and it's interesting because Cindy Barbarino says, "Can I get a word of confirmation?" This deck is the empowerment deck. So I think this would be a good one. But I also have my Sacred Forest, which I love, and then the Shaman's Dream cards. Been starting to use these. It's just amazing. The energy. Oh my God. When you give yourself over to the energy, it's just so amazing. So is it okay if I pull a card for Cindy?
Yes, please pull a card for Cindy. And then if everyone will remind me, we're going to have Lori pull a card for the group. We'll ask you to do that. That's always powerful too.
So, wow. Okay. So Cindy, this is the card I got for you. It says partnership. And look at on there, the little butterflies and the flowers. It's like, I love that, because it's like we're all in this world together, And so when I hear the word partnership, you think, oh, partnership, but it's about us all being together. So this is what the card says. Learn to grow. This is like, I feel like that this might hit you, Cindy. So let me know. It says, learn to grow with others. Overcome obstacles by working together. touch each other's hearts while life lasts. Wow, that
That's
sentence was pretty dramatic.
like out of there. Butterflies are meaningful, she says.
Wow. Yeah. So pretty amazing. And I love the second one. Overcome obstacles by working together. And I really feel like, Cindy, that you're trying to go through something alone. There's something going on in your life and you're trying to do it all yourself, which is so me. And I totally relate to that, right? Allow others in because there might be a perspective or somebody might have something to say that like strikes you in your heart. So anyway.
Oh, I loved it. I just had to soak that in. So let's see here. Maureen Myers is asking if you would pull a card for her, please. So Maureen, you don't have to tell us what your question is, but it'd be nice if you kind of had a question. Would it be, Lori, or should she just be open to anything?
I could do I could just pull from the shaman deck, which
pull it from the shaman deck.
Yeah. But you need to give readings too.
Oh, I will. I'll do the next one. How's that?
Okay.
I'll do the next one. Sorry, I was drawn to her. So maybe I'll read what your card says. I'll tune in that way.
Okay. All right. I've never pulled this card. This is a brand new deck for me. Never pulled this card. It's really cool. So Maureen, look how cool that is. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they're little fairies.
Oh, how
and they're on little lily pad things. And it says, gather round. And it says the power of community. And I just, I feel like that spirit is telling you that now is the time to find your tribe. Find your tribe. Find the group of people that is like-minded with you. And if you've been I feel like that you may have been sort of on this path for a while, and that there was a group of people that you were with for a while, and it just doesn't seem like it fits, because sometimes it works for a while and it doesn't anymore. But I feel like that now would be a good time to expand on that, expand on who you're hanging out with, and allow that to be, I don't know. Does that make any sense?
So I'm tuning in. So I'm loving what you're saying. So Maureen, I'm going to add to that for Lori. I feel, Maureen, you need to start developing your intuition. That's what I'm like. Girl, you need to trust yourself, because there's something about you doing something the same way all the time, right? And expecting different results. Isn't that the saying, right? We expect different results, but we keep doing the same repetitive act or behavior. Because I feel like it's almost like there's a new way of doing things in your life, or, having a new perspective, seeing new things, new opportunities. And you've got this, like, you've got it. You have that ability, and trust it. So I don't know if you're going to take an intuition class, but I believe it might help you. It might help kickstart something for you. All right. Yeah. And I love the tribe. See, that kind of goes together, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that she was doing that a little bit, but it didn't fit. It wasn't the right fit. So I don't know what that means. Only you would know, Maureen, but so interesting.
Let me see. I saw one in here about buying a house. I did see one about buying a house. So
did you see the one from it's Jose. Okay. I thought you were going to talk about Keith, because Keith has been looking to buy a house.
Oh, also, if you want to pull a card for Jose, but I will do the reading first, and then if you pull a card, because he did ask for a card too.
Yeah.
So would love a card pull regarding when I will be able to buy a house. I actually do feel a house around you, Jose, like there's one around the corner. I even feel that you came close to trying to buy one in the past, or, close to considering one seriously, we'll just say. I did feel early next year. I don't know about right now, but I felt like it's either early next year, not, it's not either, it's and early next year, or I just feel later next year. Like there's something that happens where you look at housing early in the year and then later in the year. So I don't know, there's something about next year happening for you, but it's almost like you had the finances, but you decided to do something else with it, and then it comes back around again. But you will have the money. I know it's a big question. I do feel you have the money. Down payment, you've got this, Jose. What do you have, Lori?
Interestingly, the card I pulled is Moon Maiden, and it says New Beginnings. Isn't that amazing? Oh my God. First of all, look how cool that card looks.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I feel that almost exactly the same as what Cheryl was saying. But I'm kind of getting that there's something else that you want to do first. I feel like that there's something going to happen. Something is going on first. And I feel like that. I'm supposed to talk to you about manifesting it and going through those steps. So create the intention, okay?
Yeah.
Journal it, visualize it, create some affirmations around it. Do that work. I feel like that's going to help you, because I'm feeling a lot of doubts in your mind. Like, I don't know if I can do this. Is it good? Should I do it? Should I not? Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of like, push me, pull you, So I feel like that this is a great way to start to push the fear away, push the stuff that fear brings in away, and bring in the positivity, bring in the affirmations, bring in the good stuff, the high vibrational stuff. So yeah.
Jose, we hope that resonates with you. If it does, please let us know in the chat box.
Yeah, I love that.
Let's see. I'm just looking. If you see a question, please read it out. I'm just looking in the one that grabs you.
Stephanie says, did you do this too? That'd be funny if we land on the same one. This is beautiful, ladies. Thank you. Are there any words of encouragement to help my mother who is resistant to getting help for her ailments? Boy, do I understand that. I totally can understand that. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I feel that, we have to give her someone that she trusts or likes to go to. I think sometimes professionals or doctors or whomever is helping her, sometimes they talk over her head or something. It's like almost trying to find someone that she can relate to. That's really my big feeling around this, because I think she wants, she's up to listen, but I just want to say, getting someone to know her first. I like that. Being more personable.
So the card I pulled is Foggy Bog, and it's patience. Oh. And I have to say, Stephanie, I think that this is a card for you. And being a daughter of a mother who didn't take care of herself, I totally can relate to that, right? However, I learned, and it's interesting because when I saw this, I was like, of course, thanks, Mom, patience on your part. Okay. And I feel like that trust is coming into play in that too. And in order to help you, because this reading, I feel like, is about you. Okay. Your mom is going to get the help she needs. Things are going to happen, but I feel like that I'm supposed to give you the reading in terms of allowing yourself, go into your heart chakra. And the next time, hopefully you meditate. So the next time you meditate, and just go into your heart chakra and just maybe put your hands over your heart and just give it up, surrender the situation to spirit. Okay. And then things will start to take care of themselves. Like she will find the doctor that is right for her, or the health practitioner that is right for her, So surrender to the process. So I hope that helps. Because I feel you on that. I really do. So. Much love.
I think that there's a question. Well, there's not a question, but Sherry Merrick at 747, she goes anxious over health issues. And I feel like that information that you just gave could also be helpful to Sherry. So Sherry, it's like you're doing this on your own. I just feel, Sherry, like I'm doing this on my own. I don't have anybody to run this by, I need an advocate in some way. And I know you have friends, but it just feels like there's a lot on your shoulders, I want to say. And as Lori just mentioned, it's kind of about surrendering, like, we can only do so much, right, in a day. And understanding that some of the things that you're going through are going to take longer to figure out, or longer, the testing, whatever you're going through will take longer than other types of testing, so to speak. But that I do feel there are angels around you, like, healing angels or health guidance angels helping you. So Lori, are you picking up?
I actually do have quite a bit on this. Sherry, I completely understand. And I keep saying this, I'm sorry, but it's true. I just had a month of complete anxiety about my own health. I had biopsies done. I had this done. I had that done. I was in the ER. It was bad, right? But through it all, okay, and I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but every day I upped my meditation sort of way of being, and every day I would meditate. And that really helped. And then talking about, being my own advocate, I went to, and this is probably TMI, but, I feel like I'm supposed to say it. Over the years, I've had these symptoms of whatever, right? And I didn't know what it was. I went to, and I'm not lying when I say 6 different doctors over the course of a couple of years, because nobody, it was like, oh, you'll be fine. You're just dehydrated. No, I'm not. Something's wrong, right? Mm-hmm. So over the last month, things started getting worse. I go and I have all these tests done. And guess what? I have a diagnosis now. And all the way through it, whenever I would meditate, and it's actually, I need to say this because it's all okay. I have RA, rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. Another one. I have already had one, but now I have another one, right? But here's the thing about it. As throughout the last, 4 to 6 weeks, when I was upping my meditation practice and I was doing all this stuff, when I would sit in the meditation, I would be like, all right. And I just kept hearing, it's RA, don't worry, because they were talking like cancers and this and that and lupus and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh my God. But when I quieted my mind, I would sit and I would just hear, it's RA. And that's like the best of all of the bad things. And guess what? It actually took away like all of these crappy things that have been happening to me for the last, several years. It all makes sense now. And so I'm going to get all of this stuff. It's like all coming to fruition and it's all working itself out. And I am like so freaking, oh my gosh. I never say that word. I hardly ever say that word. I'm sorry.
You've been through it.
Freaking lucky. I'm so lucky. I found a set of doctors that are amazing. I know. I'm sorry, Julia. I'm sorry if anyone, oh my God, I can't believe it didn't come out fully, but geez.
We all know what that feels like.
Okay. So anyway, I'm saying just allow yourself to sit in fudge. Thank you, Christine.
Yeah, fudge.
And allow yourself to sit in that space and just know that it's going to be, and again, it's manifestation, it's keeping yourself in the higher vibrational place. So, okay. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm sorry if I went, it was a little TMI, but you know what? I feel like that we're all here to help each other out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if me going through my weird situation helps somebody out, persistence.
Well, it helps. it helps it helps ground Sherry, which is super important because we need to remain grounded, and you remain grounded, Lori, through meditating or up your meditating.
Yeah.
So that was great information. So Sherry, if you can understand that, or
Yeah.
just breathe and make sure you're eating enough food because that'll help you stay grounded.
Yeah.
It is hard to kind of care for ourselves when we're going through something. So
Yes.
we have
Yeah.
to be there for each other. So thank you,
Yes.
Lori. Thank you.
So thank you for allowing me the freedom to say all of that, because actually it felt right that I share that. So.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you will continue to help people, Lori. We know that.
So.
And for everyone, I know we just appreciate your questions coming through. They're still coming in. Our emails we're getting lots of emails still. Please continue to send us your questions at our email address, questions@seeingbeyondradio.com. And we would love to continue this, not next week, but we'll come back soon with answering more of your questions. We'll do another mastermind, so to speak. And of course, we'll do more readings next week. But for everyone who joined us tonight, I just want to thank all of you for coming and really bringing your inspiration and your talent and your questions. So Lori and I could help share our information with you from the many years experience we've had working with spirit and doing mediumship readings, psychic readings, working on our own personal journey, having that be very helpful. Yeah. So let me just take a moment and thank you, Lori, again.
Wait, I want to do a card for everybody. Remember?
I know. Remembering.
But thank you for letting me be here, and thank you for putting up with me.
Before we go, Lori's going to pull a card for the group. And this is an amazing part of the night. I just have to say, Lori. So do we ask a question?
No.
No, we just allow you to give us a reading.
Yeah. And the way I do this, when I do cards for the collective, I really just, I just sort of channel. I pull a card and I channel, and spirit tells me what to say. So here it is. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Ooh, this is cool. And again, new deck. I have never pulled this card before. If you look at that.
Oh my.
Whoa. And it says Wailing Tree. And then it says Reconciliations.
Holy cow.
Right. And I mean, wow. Okay. So this is it's a tree, obviously. Right. But what I'm getting about this, you guys, is that, we are in a time right now. And I think through the end of the year is going to be about reconciliations, but it's not just reconciliations with maybe family members who you haven't spoken to in a while or whatever. I feel like that we are headed into like this time in the next few months of reconciling with ourselves, reconciling with our loved ones, and reconciling who we are to the world. And that makes me think about the throat chakra. Our throat chakra is where we learn our truth, and we are able to be who we are supposed to be in this world. And I feel like that the card of reconciliations for the rest of this year is so important, because this is the time to start to be who you are in this world, because you are a powerful human being. And I'm speaking to every single person that's listening. You are a powerful human being, and grab that power, and be it. So, wow, that was an amazing card. I love that. So
that was an amazing reading.
Yeah, I love that. I'm so lucky to do what I do. And I know, Cheryl, I know you feel the same way. I'm so lucky to be doing what I do. So
thank you. And can you share with us the card deck that you just used? Because the card was beautiful, and we want to make sure we give credit to.
It's called the Shaman's Dream, and it's Claude Baron Reed, but it's also Alberto Villoldo.
Yes, we have.
I took a little thing with them, and this card deck just totally spoke to me. So.
Oh, it's just lovely. We'll bring that deck next time too.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So thank you so much for having me on. I really, truly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
You're so
Much
welcome.
love to Kelly, if she's listening at all.
Kelly, love to you, Kelly, and love to Brianna working behind the scenes to help produce the show and to help field your questions and comments and really share the links with you. So thank you, Brianna, and to everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful week until we see you again next Sunday. You've been watching Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Namaste.
Bye, everybody. Namaste.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.